Hi everyone, my name is Eliza and this is Eliza's Bookshelf. Today I'm going to go over all the books that I got in December, and it is my biggest book haul yet. There's a reason why I kind of put this off because there's just so many books and it's a lot. So I don't really even know where to get started. I put all the books in little like categories and sections here on the floor, so I'm like surrounded by books all over, and then I also have my little coffee because it's super cold here, but I'm gonna get started. I'm going to go over all the books that my husband bought me for the 25 days of Bookmas. That's over here. And then I got my Christmas gifts and book of the month and pre-orders and I don't know, another book that really had its own category. And then lastly, I'm gonna go over all the books that I just realized that I have a stack of books over there that I forgot about. But lastly, I wanna go over all the books that I got after the holiday sale. So I thought I had everything accounted for here, but I'm just looking at this pile of like 6 books that I need to go over too. That's a lot. So I actually have like 69 books. 69 books that I need to go over. So hold on. Okay. There we go. So more books around me. Okay, so since this is a lot of books, I'm not going to go over in depth every single one. I'll just talk about like, you know, random thoughts here and there. But okay, let's start off with the 25 days of Christmas. 25 days of Bookmas from my husband. And honestly, he overcounted. I think at the end of the season, he just freaks out and he doesn't want to forget about it. So he just over orders, and he actually got me like 34 books instead of 25. So at the end, after, you know, Christmas time, I just opened up all the rest, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So let's go over the first one, and I'm excited for this one because I think I'm going to read it with Sam soon, and Daphne said that she loved it. It's one of the books that she recommended to me. I'll link their channels down below too. I'll link like a lot of channels down below, I think. But anyways, so this is the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, and this is like a mystery thriller type of book, but it's very unique in that this woman dies, and well, her name is Evelyn Hardcastle, and she dies, and someone is trying to figure out who her killer is, but every day this person wakes up in a different body of, you know, people who were around her when she died, and so he's getting different perspectives of all these characters and trying to figure out what happened. And I heard about this a long time ago, basically when I first started my job here at in Southern California, so it was like 3-4 years ago I've heard about this, and I heard it was really good. I don't know why I just never picked it up, but a lot of people are raving about it still, so look how pretty this is. I don't know what that's about, but it's cute. So yes, this was released in 2018, so I'm very behind. I'm excited to get into this one. I'm going to read it this month soon. After I'm done with my chunkster of a book, The Way of Kings, I'll get into this one. So number 1, 68 more books to go. Okay, this one, okay, so for my husband's, you know, 25 days of Bookmas, he does get like a wish list from me, so he gets a general idea of what books I want, and then he goes off of that and, you know, surprises me with other books. But he got me this book, Stormfront by Jim Butcher. I heard of this book through another booktuber on YouTube, and I think it's like one of his favorite series, and he's doing a reread. It's like a bunch of books. It's really long series, I think, but this is book number 1, and so I wanted to get into it. I think it's like it's a mystery book with like vampires and monsters and stuff like that. So you have Harry Dresden, which is, he's the best at what he does. Technically, he's the only one who does what he does. So when the Chicago PD has a case that transcends mortal creativity or capability, they come to him for answers. For the everyday world is actually full of strange and magical things, and most of them don't play well with humans. That's where Harry comes in. Takes a wizard to catch a, well, whatever. Is he a wizard? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm so excited for this one. This next book is called Funny You Should Ask by Elisa Sussman. I heard it's really good. It's a romance novel, and I don't know much about that. I do know that someone told me online that I should listen to the audiobook because they pronounce the names really nicely. For example, the main character, Chani, if you didn't know, it's not pronounced Chani or anything like that. She said it was pronounced like Shawnee. Very like nice and exotic sounding. I don't know, but that's all I can tell you. I don't know what this is about. It says it's filled with delightful banter, hot romance, and a love story that's worthy of the big screen. To put bluntly, I freaking loved it. By Kate Spencer said that. So I don't know. Sometimes you can't really tell from these romance covers. You don't know how spicy it's gonna be, but apparently this is a hot romance. Next one is Led by Stacey Selwyn, Miss Selwyn. And actually my husband did this thing with these books. Like he wrapped it up in brown paper and then he put little post-it notes inside and he gives me hints about what the book could be. Sometimes I can guess it, sometimes I can't. This one he gave me a little postcard with hints. It says a story about an axe wielder who has been chosen for sacrifice to the Glacian. So sounds crazy, but a lot of these like little hints that he gives me, he's always saying things like, you know, all of your books sound the same. It's like someone from a past life coming back in and they rekindle their love. So it's hilarious, but I've heard really good things about this and I think my coworker bought it recently too. I just can't wait to get into it. Next one is The Beach Trap by Ali Brady. So this is actually like a duo of authors, and I've seen them online on Bookstagram way before when they started talking and blurbing about this book, and it's finally out. I can't wait. So there's these two best friends and they're like really close, and then they find out that they're actually half sisters, and that kind of like drifted them apart. But then years later, a decade and a half later, their father passes away and it forces them to like kind of rekindle their relationship. I don't know. And then they have their side love stories in there. So it's like two love stories in one. Yes, that's The Beach Trap. This one is Once Upon a December by Amy Rachar, and I did talk about this in one of my videos last year about like holiday romances. And so I just haven't read this one, but I know Emily Henry liked it, Evie Dunmore liked it. Don't know who that is, but I do love Emily Henry, and so I'll just read anything she recommends basically. A one-of-a-kind Christmas market offers holiday magic in its new romance from the author of The Kindred Spirits Supper Club. Cool. Okay, next one is A Song of Achilles, and this one I've been like meaning to read. I actually haven't read this or Circe, and I know everyone loves it. Like, I don't know if I've known anyone who has read this book and not liked it. My best friend from high school recently told me, she's like, have you heard of Song of Achilles? I'm like, oh my gosh, I really need to read this book. So yes, this is one of the ones that my husband got me. It has one of those like not stickers but stuck on forever type of thing. You know how everyone likes that. Next one is Cream and Punishment. I actually heard of this author, or this, even the series, like from one of the romance book clubs online on Bookstagram. I forgot which one it was. I think it was like Chick Lit is the Shit book club. One of those like Instagram book clubs that are really nice. And so this is part of King's Creamy, or the King family novel. Basically, you have this family who has this ice cream company. I don't know. I didn't want to say wrong things, but I remember reading the first one. No, this is Cream and Punishment. The other one that I read was My Conan Only. It's like different puns and plays off of ice cream stuff because they own this ice cream shop, but it's so cute. I remember reading that one and I loved it. I just need to get into more of the other ones. Next one is Curse of the Wolf King. I actually don't know what this is about, but let's see. This is the thing that my husband drew as a hint. Did I get the hint? No. But let's see what this is about. It sounded interesting before when I read it. A beastly fey king with a deadly curse. A devious bargain to break it. All Gemma Bellflower wants is to leave her past behind and forget the day scandal broke her heart. But when she's captured by a trickster fey king who threatens to hold her for ransom, she'll find herself at the top of the gossip column yet again, unless, plagued by the curse that will soon claim his life, the human-hating King Elliot will do anything to save himself. And if Gemma can use that to her advantage, she might be able to bargain her way to freedom. All she has to do is help him break the curse. Sounds very like Beauty and the Beast retelling-esque, like Avatar. I don't know, but I love it. I think I will love it. Next one is Just Last Night. So this is my Miari McFarlane, and I remember someone, I think it was Sasha from Sasha Reads, she read another book by this author that she didn't really like, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think it was her, but I'll have to give this a try and see if I do like this author, but this would be the first book that I've read from this author. She also wrote If I Never Met You and also Don't You Forget About Me, and her covers look cute. They're like covers that are right up my alley. But we'll see. Eve, Justin, Susie, and Ed have been friends since they were teenagers. Now in their 30s, the four are as close as ever. Thursday night trivia bar is sacred, and Eve is secretly in love with Ed. Maybe she should have moved on by now, but she can't stop thinking about what could have been, and she knows Ed thinks about it too. So kind of like childhood friends to lovers. But in an instant, their lives are changed forever. Oh my gosh, so like, sounds more serious. In the aftermath, Eve's world is upended as stunning secrets are revealed. She begins to wonder if she knew her friends as well as she thought. And when someone from the past comes back into her life, Eve's future veers in a surprising new direction. Oh my gosh, what a twist. Okay, so I actually do want to read this and see what that's about. And look at my husband's hint card. Sometimes he's like, I really don't know what to do. Okay, there we go. Oh, next book is A Very Merry Bromance by, who was it? Lisa K. Adams. And so this is like the bromance series, whatever. I don't know. I thought initially when I saw this cover, I thought it was like a novella, a teeny little thing in the holiday world, but it's actually a big own book. So I'm excited for this. I actually only read one book in the series and I loved it. And it wasn't number one. I think it was number 2 or 3, but I loved it. I just never went back and read all the other ones. But this looks like a nice holiday one. Cute. Oh, if you guys don't know, it's basically like this group of men, like bros and stuff like that. They're all friends, and whenever they have relationship problems, they're like, all right, let's read this romance book and see what we're doing wrong, see what we can learn from it. So it's so funny. And I don't know if it's the case for all the books, but in the book that I read, there's like little snippets from romance books that they read from. I don't know. I don't see anything like that in here, but we'll see. The next one is When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and this one I actually already read. I got it as an e-arc last year and I loved it so much. She's coming out with book 2 in this series, and I think it's coming out mid this year. I'm just so excited for it. Basically you have this woman who's like a pop star or a superstar, and she's very burnt out and she's trying to figure out how to get that spark back, so she goes to Rome, but not the Rome that everyone knows. She's going to this little hometown Rome in Kentucky, like a random place that she knows no one there. And so she meets this guy who's like an owner of a bake shop or a bakery. I don't know, I forget, but oh, they're so cute together. I love this one. And it doesn't feel like that long of a book. It's very thin, and it's only 280 pages, which is that the normal for romance books nowadays? I don't even know anymore. Okay, yeah, it's pretty short. Okay, next one is Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Jenny Bayliss. I don't really know much about this book, but I guess I should clump it up with my other holiday books. I should. Where's the other one? I'm excited. Holiday books. I'll put that over here. All right, and then kind of want to go over this one last. And this one, I'll go over it together. I have a lot of books. So, Thorn and the Theft of Sunlight. This is actually a series that Kaylee recommended to us. I don't know which one is actually the first book. I think it's Thorn, and she loved it. She raved about it. She read it through really quickly, and I think it's actually a trilogy, but I don't know if my husband saw there was a book 3, but I have 2 books here, and so I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. But I don't know much about it. All I know is that Kaylee loved it, and I trust her and all of my friends, and when my friends say they love something, I'm like, all right, say no more, let me get it. So that's that, and then let's see what else. I also got, well, he got me this, and it reminds me I have the other book somewhere. But basically, A Light in the Flame. This is a number 2 in the Ember in the Ashes spin-off trilogy. It's actually just a trilogy, confirmed. There's only 3 books in this one, but this is the second one. And I honestly am not caught up with my reread yet because I wanted to restart afresh and then get to War of Two Queens and then get caught up with this, you know, this little spin-off. Oh my gosh. If you guys haven't heard of From Blood and Ash yet, it's like a phenomenal fantasy romance by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And I can't say enough about it. I love the series so much. The next one he got me is Carrie Soto's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And if you guys haven't read this book already, it's actually my favorite book by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I thought that wouldn't be possible after reading Malibu Rising because I love that one so much. And I don't know, I just love this one. I'm not even a big like tennis player or lover or even watcher. And so I was really surprised. This is about Carrie Soto. She was like a very famous tennis player when she was younger, and then something happened. She got a lot of injuries and stuff like that, and so she retired early. Actually, I don't know if it's like early retirement. I don't know, but she retired, and she is actually coming out of retirement to try to beat this other tennis player who is threatening to like beat her record and something like that. And the main thing that I loved about this is that she is a phenomenal player. She's very dedicated. She trains so much. She works so hard for what she wants. And still sometimes that is not enough for people because she's like a woman. She needs to present herself certain ways. She needs to get along well with the other people. And I just hate that. Like, why can't she just be enough as how she is? And I don't know. I just loved it. Yes. Next one is, oh my gosh, Lachlan's. My husband got me Lachlan's by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I actually have not read the series yet. I haven't even started it yet. I have the first 2 books in the series. First one is Foundry Side, second one is Shorefall, and it is like a fantasy found family sorts of book. I don't know if this is going to bother me because the first 2 books that I have is paperback and this is hardcover, and I love hardcover books, but I also like it when books match. So honestly, I'm probably gonna buy the paperback anytime soon, but for some reason, like this series, I can't find the books very well. So sometimes there's like super marked up price for just the paperback, and I don't know. I think it's not that popular, so it's not printed as often as other books, but I don't remember much about this series other than it's like a found family thieving sort of. I don't know. I don't even know what the magic system is, but I do know I want to read it. Next one is Runtime by Catherine Ryan Howard. And oh my gosh, if you guys can just feel this book, it feels so thick and heavy, like very well made and very worth the money. Because sometimes hardcovers nowadays is like just so much money and it just doesn't feel like it's that well made. But this one, like even the paper feels so thick. Anyway, so Catherine Ryan Howard is one of my favorite authors now. She wrote that pandemic mystery thriller 56 Days or something like that about this 2 couple who just met, but because of the pandemic they're stuck with each other and then someone dies. So I read that one and I liked it. And this one, oh, what's the other one that I read? It was like the Nothing Man. It's basically about this woman who had a very traumatic upbringing or childhood. Like there was a killer who killed her family, and she actually knows who the killer is, and she's trying to draw him out by writing stories and stuff like that about the killer and hoping that the killer is gonna read it and come out and get her. I don't know, she's doing something funky. But that was the first book that I read, and then I read 56 Days and I was like, all right, I'm hooked. I think she's like an autobi author for me. I did request this on NetGalley or something like that, and I got declined, and so my husband got it for me. Runtime. It's basically like a mystery slasher book about a movie set, if I am not mistaken. The Project. Final Draft, a psychological horror being filmed at a house deep in the forest, miles anywhere in the wintry wilds of West Cork. The lead, former soap star Adele Rafferty, has stepped in to replace the original actress. Has stepped in to replace the original actress at the very last minute. She can't help but hope that this opportunity will be her big break, and she knows she was lucky to get it after what happened the last time she was on set. The problem, something isn't quite right about Final Draft. When the strange goings on in the script start to happen on set too, Adele begins to fear that the real horror lies off the page. That sounds amazing. All right, so I'm nearing the end of my lunch break, and I only went through like a fifth of the book, so I got to keep it moving. Oh, the next one is also a holiday read, A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. So I don't know much about this book, and I also don't know if it is YA or adult romance, but I did see a couple of people read it on Booksgram and said that they loved it. So if you guys have read this book or know anything about it, let me know if it is YA or adult, and I don't know if you liked it or not, but yay, more holiday reads. Okay, the second one. The next one I want to go over just briefly, because we all know J.K. Rowling is kind of a horrible human being, but Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, this one is like really cute addition, and it's if you open it, it just has all these pop-ups and stuff like that, and I have the first one, and so I think he's like slowly collecting them for me. So yes, Chamber of Secrets. Next one is, oh, my stack right here is gonna fall apart. Next one is Neon Gods by Katie Robert, my bad. This is like a very spicy romance, what is it, like Greek mythology type of book. I honestly don't read much of Hades and Persephone's retellings and stuff like that, and I think there's a lot out there nowadays, but I heard this one is really good. I do want to give it a try, and we'll see if I like it. Unspeakably Hot by Entertainment Weekly. Okay, next one. The next two is by Marissa Meyer. So I do need to put all these books behind me because they are falling apart here. Here we go. Okay. Next two are by Marissa Meyer, and Marissa Meyer wrote like one of my favorite series called the Lunar Chronicles. I actually bought the Cinder series or the Lunar Chronicles series from Fairy Loot recently, and this is her next series. It's just a duology, so I think this is it, and it's done. It's complete. The first one is called Gilded, and the second one is called Cursed. I did hear people did not like this as much or did not get the same feels, but I am excited to read it. It's a If you guys have read the other famous or very popular romance books, I think it is called Guild, but I didn't really like that as much, so I'm hoping I would like this retelling more. Okay, let's put that over there. And he also got me I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I already read this last year and I loved it. It's basically about her upbringing, her relationship with her mom, you know, Nickelodeon and stuff like that. But I loved how she wrote about her disordered eating. So yes, I do recommend this book for whoever wants to read about that. Next one is Tell Me Anything. And this is like a science fiction book. This is actually the only book that my husband got that he thought would be very interesting, that he would be interested in opening or reading. It says this is his little like hint card. People were previously given the opportunity to erase a memory. They then received a notification saying they can retrieve that memory. So it sounds so crazy. I do want to read this soon, and maybe I'll make him read it with me. Let's see. You know what? Instead of saying I don't know what things are about, maybe I should just read you guys his little you know, hint card. Let's see. So the next one is Electra by Jennifer Saint, another like Greek mythology retelling, I think. And this is his hint card. So never mind. If you guys like know a lot about these Greek mythology retellings, and if you like any of them and feel like I should read it sooner, let me know. Let's see here. These two books are by one of my favorite authors, or two of my favorite authors, Christina Lauren. So Love in Other Words. I have this book already, but I have like the old cover, and I wanted the new covers because I think they're like rebranding everything and making them so pretty. And then I got Dating You, Hating You. I read this a long time ago, a long time ago, when they had, you know, their like Beautiful Bastards series in Target. But they are rebranding and making everything so cute and matching each other. I think I have another one of their books somewhere that matches this. I don't know. We'll see. I'm so excited to finally film my December haul because now I can actually organize my books onto my shelves. It's like a work in progress here. Oh, okay. So we have Everything After by Jill Santopolo. I did read the other book by her, The Light We Lost, and I remember loving it. It was just kind of on the sadder side and not like uplifty, cutesy rom-com. So I'm not expecting that from this. I do want to read it though because I remember liking it. Two loves, two choices, one chance to follow her dreams. Interesting. Where's my card? Okay, let's see. Emily has a traumatic past, which is also happening in the present. She hears a song on the radio with a familiar voice. That's my husband hint card. Poor guy. He was like doing all these things one night, and I think he was just getting really tired. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So I got The Blood Trader, and this is the last one in the Prison Healer series, the Prison Healer trilogy. This is by an Australian author, Lynette Noni, and oh my gosh, I remember reading the first book and I was like, what have I been missing out on? The first book was amazing. So you basically have this little girl who got into some trouble with the rebels when she was younger, and her family, she and her father got caught or blamed for something, and then they got thrown into the prison. And so because of her father's like, you know, profession and stuff like that, they became the healers of the prison. And her father passed away, but she's still there, so she's like the only one doing this. But she's always held out hope that her family is going to break her out of there. And so I don't know. I don't even want to say too much. There's just so many twists in that book. I love it. I cannot say more about that book, but I remember it ended in like 2 wild twists, and I just need to continue with the second book, and then this is the third book to wrap it up. I'm just so excited to read it. So, and then the 2 last books, oh, actually 2 last books and then a set. So 2 last books in here is The Lost Queen and The Forgotten Kingdom. I think this is in the same series, but I just don't remember which one is the first one. I think it's The Lost Queen. I remember my coworker talking about this book and I think she loved it. It's possibly in like her top books of the year, who knows. But a new religion comes to this place. Huh? Oh, a new religion comes to be. This person must fight to preserve the kingdom and the old way. My gosh. I don't know if that tells you much, but, oh yes. So The Lost Queen is the first book in the Lost Queen trilogy. The second volume of the Lost Queen trilogy. So honestly, this will get me started. And if I love it, I might buy the whole thing. Or the last one. Okay. And then the last book in the 25 days of Bookmas that turned into like 34 books or whatever is this book set. Oh my gosh, and I'm such a nerd. I'm so like out of control because I already have Kingdom of the Curse and Kingdom of the Feared Barnes & Noble special edition, but I don't have Kingdom of the Wicked and I don't think they sell it anymore individually. So I wanted this box set and he got it for me. He's so sweet. And it's so crazy because I already have like all 3 in like the original print. So now I have a lot of these books and I just love the series so much. It's not like by far the most perfect and whatever, but I just love it because everything wraps up together so well by the 3rd book. I love this so much. So yes, give this a read if you haven't already. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition. All right, so that is all the books that my husband got me for Christmas. And he's honestly so sweet. I asked him what he wanted for Christmas, like for his you know, advent calendar, and he said he wanted hot sauces. So I was like, all right, let me get you a bunch of hot sauces. And so I got him hot sauces and I wrapped them all up and I wrote like and I drew little pictures on the covers to like hint at what the flavors are. But by the 10th day or something, he got such bad heartburn that he stopped. And so they're still unopened. And I was like, all right, next year I'll do something different. I think next year I'm gonna do for him like a 25 days of beer, because he loves beer, but all the advent calendars out there, they have a lot of IPAs and he does not like that. So I'll just have to go to some like beverage area and hand pick beers that I think he'll like. So it's a little reminder to me to do like a 25 days of beers for him because he's so sweet. Okay, so the next things I want to go over are the books that I got as presents. So my brother got me Daughter of the Moon Goddess, as well as Heart of the Sun Warrior. And I think this is it. I think this is a duology, but it's so beautiful by itself, like its own. This is not even like a special edition set or anything, but just the regular covers by itself is just so beautiful. So I know sometimes book boxes do special editions and whatever and and have a lot of designs for dust jackets, but even this by itself, I think it's so pretty. I don't think there's anything special in the inside covers, but yes. So this is like a YA fantasy series or duology by Sue Lin Tan. That's all I can tell you. Is this the, no, that's not the T one. Anyways, and then Meredith got me The Love You Deserve. So honestly, this came in like in the middle of December and it didn't have any tags or like notes in it, so I really didn't know who it was from. I was just like, I'm pretty sure it's for me though, because no one else in the house reads romance. But I was like, who got it for me? And so I eventually asked her and she's like, yeah, you know. And it's just so crazy because I thought having Amazon would be so easy to order to other countries, but I tried ordering for you, Meredith, and it's just so hard. So weird. It keeps saying like not available. Like why? Why is it not available? I don't know. But this one is so cute. It is an age gap romance and cute little dogs involved. Honestly, Jen Morris is like the nicest author ever, and I've been reading a lot of her books as advanced readers copies, and her 3rd book I did read. I just put in my review very late, so I think she gave me the boot and I never got her arcs ever again. But this is like the 4th book in her series, and all the books that I read from her so far I've loved, and so I can't wait to read this one. Yes, it's like an age gap. It's an age gap romance, and there's like cute little puppies involved, which say no more. I love dogs. Where are my doggies? I don't know. The next one I got is for my coworker, and it's just so amazing because my coworker, we've been coworkers for like 3-4 years, right? 3 years. I've been here like a little over 3 years, and I've always known of her. We just never talked, and then work shuffled us around one day, and so she became my office mate. And so, you know, every day at work, I always have some sort of book that's open on the side in case I have any breaks and I'm like, I want to read. And so I had my book of the month box open, and she saw, and she's like, oh, do you like book of the month? And that's how we started talking. Turns out she is like a big book fanatic, and she has her own bookstagram as well, and she shops for books all the time, and she collects books, like everything like me. And it's just so crazy because I talk to people like this, but not in real life. Like I meet people like this through bookstagram, through booktube and stuff like that, but this is my one person in real life that likes things and books as much as I like them, and it's so crazy. She got me Gods of Jade and Shadow, and she loved this book, and a lot of people recently told me that they love it too, so I can't wait to get into this one. This is July book of the month of 2019, and so, oh my gosh, if you guys know me and book of the month, I have like so many books that I need to read. So one of my goals this year is actually finish all of my book of the month purchases, like from years ago, and I think there's like 30. But yes, yay! Okay, so those are all my gifts that I got that month. And then now I'm going to go into now I'm gonna go over like this random clump of books right here. So I got Queen of Myth and Monsters, and this is number 2 in Scarlett St. Clair's series. I don't remember what the series is actually called, but it's basically about like Adrienne and Isolde. I remember picking this up because I needed something to hold me over while I waited for the next From Blood and Ash books, and it kind of did the job. It was not like my favorite, but I do want to continue the series. So I had this for a book pre-order, and I finally got it. Next book is Age of Vice by Dipti Kapoor, and I got this from one of the like book clubs on Bookstagram, and so they every month they pick some sort of book, and the publishers like send it out to the book club. And so I got this one. I actually read it already, and it was phenomenal. It's my first book of the year, and it's just so crazy. I loved it. I'll talk more about this in my wrap up. And next books are my book of the month picks of December. So I picked Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow as my book for, you know, at the end of the year, they always have you vote for the best book of the year, the best book of the month book of the year. And so this was the book of the year, and I didn't have this one already. I think the other picks I already had copies, so I was so glad that this was picked, and I can't wait to read it. It's like some sort of like video game couple, I don't know. I don't think it's heavy on the romance. It's more so about video games and stuff like that, but I'm excited to read that. I also picked Ariadne. I think that month I didn't pick like an actual book of the month of December, so I picked like members' favorites, and I picked this one, and I also picked A Fire Endless. This is the second in a duology, an Elements of Cadence novel. I think it's just a duology. So the first one is called, I don't even know what it's called. I'm so bad. A River Enchanted. So I got that one from Book of the Month last year, and then I wanted the matching one, so I'm going to read it this year and finish it hopefully. Okay, so that's it for my miscellaneous, and then the last book set are the books that I bought at the after holiday sales, and I have to get to do this quickly because I think it's time for me to work. Like I have a few more minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go over the books that I got from my cousin. My cousin-in-law is just like the best gift giver ever, and he got me on top of like the dust jackets that he got me a gift card to Barnes & Nobles, and these are the books that I got from his gift card. Okay, so the first book is, so this is like the Barnes & Noble's half off sale. They do like a hardcovers 50% off sale at the end of the year, and possibly like sometime else in the middle of the year, but I do know the previous year they did it as well, so I'm guessing this is like a yearly thing now. But yes, half off hardcovers. I got Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng. So I only read one other book by Celeste Ng, and it wasn't Little Fires Everywhere. It was the other one that was really sad. It was Everything I Never Told You, and I really liked it. I don't know if my friend liked it as much as I did, but we did it as a buddy read. And so this one I am so excited to get into. This other book is Lessons in Chemistry. And this is Barnes & Noble's book of the year. Everyone has been raving about this. They loved it. And I think it's like a woman in STEM type of book. The only thing that kind of bothers me, and I'm not sure if it bothers me enough to let Barnes & Noble's know, if I do want to do that, I have to do it soon. And I don't even know if I have the receipt. But anyways, the spine doesn't really line up. It's like to the side. Huh. Anyways, maybe I will go to the bookstore and let them know because I am going there tonight with my kids. Anyways, yes, I heard a lot of people like this book. Ooh, I'm so excited about this. So if you guys remember me talking about this a little bit, I did buy Fairy Loot's Lunar Chronicles series, but I also bought this special edition of Cinder because it was half off. I asked them, I was like, does this count for the hardcovers half off? And it did. So I got this for like 17 bucks. And I have something like this for Throne of Glass, like the first book in the Throne of Glass series. And I don't know. I wish that they did this for all of the books, you know, not just the first book in this series, but I remember liking my Throne of Glass one, so I'm excited to open this one. They did like a whole rebranding, like they did new covers for all of the books recently, and I do think they're so pretty. Oh my god. My husband really likes like high-tech stuff, so our house always goes off and beeps and stuff like that. So if there's anyone in the front door, it says, motion detected on the front door, and that scared the crap out of me. Okay, next one is The Atlas Paradox, and I got this one because I have the first book, The Atlas 6, and it's like dark academia type of book, I think, and I just haven't read the first one yet, but this one is a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I don't know what makes it exclusive. I do know the cover looks different. Oh my gosh, there's art in here, so I think that is what's special, but I also don't know if there's any like special excerpts or anything like that. Let me check real quick and not spoil anything. There's something in here. I don't know if it's an extra thing or if it is like a early look to something. I don't know, but I do know that there is cute art. And then let me know if this is different, but it's really pretty. I love special editions. Jesus. Okay, the next one is The Midnight Girls by Alicia Jasinka, and I picked this up because Meredith did say that she recommended this, and so I was like, I do need to read this next year, so I bought it. Two Rivals, One Heart, and A Kingdom Ready to Watch Them Burn. I'm excited for this one. It's so pretty. Gosh, I just love pretty books. And let's see. It's a YA book club pick. I don't know if it's a YA book club of December, but that's cute. Oh, the next one is Strike the Zither by Joan He. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but I remember reading the synopsis and I did want to read it. Basically, you have this woman who is orphaned at a young age, and she became the best strategist of the land, and she goes into like the other people's army and kind of infiltrates them. So it sounds really good. Gosh, YA novels are just so good. They're so good. This one, The Liar's Crown by Abigail Owen. I actually don't know anything about this book, and I've never heard anyone talk about anything about this, but I was just like browsing Barnes & Nobles and I read the synopsis and I was like, this sounds like something I would like. Everything about my life is a lie. As a hidden twin princess born second, I have only one purpose: to sacrifice my life for my sister if death comes for her. I've been living under the guise of a poor, obscure girl of no standing, slipping into the palace and into the role of the true princess when danger is present. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy because I remember when I read the synopsis, I remember thinking, this is so crazy. I really want to read this. And then like weeks later, I was like, what was that book that I wanted to read? And I was trying to tell my husband, I don't know why. I was like, please, did I tell him about this book? Will he be able to help me out? And I was trying to figure out what book it was. And I guess I never found out until this. I thought it was like Foul Lady Fortune or something, but it was this book. I'm so excited for this one. And then we have The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich. And I remember Lena from Lena's Bookshelf really liked it. She said it was so good and she recommended it. And it's also something, it's like science fiction-y. And let me see here. Basically, it's like an ordinary day, right? Everyone's waking up on the same day, but when they come out, they see a box. And in the box, there's the amount of days that you'll live, the exact number of years that you live. So there's a question like, do you open it? Do you need to find out? Do you have to decide this as a whole society? I don't know, but this sounds really good. I want to read this next and also Tell Me an Ending, the other book. I love science fiction. I just don't get enough of it, I think. The next one is All That's Left Unsaid. I was on the fence for this one. I don't know what it's about, but I think the author is Vietnamese, so I was like, yes. Who's this? Hi, Neymar. My doggy. Tracy Ling was born and raised in southwestern Sydney, Australia. She earned her MFA at the University of Kansas and was previously a reporter for the LA Times. She lives in Brooklyn, New York, and this is her first novel, debut novel. Perfect for readers of Liz Moore, Britt Bennett, and Celeste Ng. This is nice. Okay. Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know what it is, but I'll have to read it later. I love it. I just love the beautiful cover. And then I got this book, Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. I love this guy. Like, I read a lot about his relationship with Hermione. I forget her name. I'm blinking out right now, but he just seems like a really nice guy. And so I do want to read about this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Preview. I do want to get into this, but I do like reading autobiographies or books like this as an audiobook alongside it. So I think I'm going to request it on Libby first and then read it. So yeah. So awesome. He just seems like such a great guy. Okay, so that's the books that I got with my cousin's gift card. So basically books from him, I guess. And then the other ones are other books that I got because I could not be helped. And after I left the bookstore, I just went online for other like extra hardcover sales and stuff like that. So these are extra books. I got Iron Widow. I don't know what this is about, but I do remember following the author on Bookstagram, and she like dressed up as her characters and stuff like that. And it was just so wild. Yeah, so I got this one also from the Barnes & Noble sale. So I'll put this over here. I got this book, The Retreat. I read the first book by Sarah Pierce called The Sanatorium. I have it over here somewhere, but I did not know. I knew this book was coming out, but I did not know that it's actually a part of a series from the first book. It's just following like the same detective. And so this one sounds really good. I'm thinking I may like it more than the other one. Who knows? It just sounds really good. And next book is Foul Lady Fortune. And this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So they started doing these sprayed edges. It's just so beautiful. I don't know what else is special edition about it, but that itself is just so pretty. And I don't know, they need to like get on Waterstone's page or something, but I mean, I'll take it. It's so beautiful. I don't really know what this is about either, but I think, yeah, I don't know. Okay. And I got Violet Made of Thorns. This is also YA book club pick before. I don't know of what month, but it's by Gina Chen. And I think I'm just getting back into YA fantasy a lot nowadays. They feel so great. They look so great. They sound really great. And so, yeah. There's always a price for defying destiny. The boy must die before summer's end, or you will burn. Yes! I love it. This sounds amazing. Next one is Monsters Born and Made. I think this was a book for Fairy Loot or some book box edition last year, and the cover was really nice, but honestly this cover by itself is really good too. And this isn't even like a special edition or anything, but look at this naked cover. It's so beautiful. Crazy, huh? I just love this teal color. But it's basically about this family who needs to capture these sea creatures and stuff to survive. They sell these sea creatures to, you know, people higher up in the hierarchy, and they can't one season. Something happens. I don't know. I started it. I just never continued after like the second or third pages because I was like, what am I doing? I need to finish The Way of Kings. So I'm definitely going to read this one soon. The next one is The Starless Crown. This is a signed edition. This is also one of the books that my coworker told me that she really liked, and it is a terrific bit of storytelling. I'm not sure. I think this is fantasy book. It just looks really thick. She was on a thick book reading kick, but I'm excited to read this one. Next one is M by Kim Thuy, and I'm probably mispronouncing that. I butcher my own language all the time, honestly. It's a very short book, and I think it's filled with like short poems or very short stories. It's only like 145 pages, but it's by this author who was born in Saigon, but she moved to France, I think. So this was actually written in French and it's translated to English. I was trying to find like a Vietnamese version to give to my mom and read with my sister as like our own little book club, but I think it's not even in Vietnamese. So it's basically about this family growing up in, I don't know, let's see. Emma, Jade, and Louis are born in the havoc of the Vietnam War. Orphaned, saved, and cared for by adults coping with the chaos of Saigon and freefall, they become children of the Vietnamese diaspora. Anyways, through the linked destinies of characters connected by birth, the novel zigzags between the rubber plantations of Indochina, daily life in Saigon during the war, the evacuation of thousands of biracial orphans from Saigon in April 1975, and today's global nail polish and nail salon industry, largely driven by Vietnamese refugees. Oh, I'm so excited to read this with my family. I got a couple of copies for us. This one is Under the Whispering Door, and people have been raving about TJ Klune for the longest time, and he wrote The House in the Cerulean Sea. That's the one that I heard people love and people buying special editions for all the time. This one is another book where I think this guy died and he's just not ready to go. Is it? Actually, let me see. He's given 1 week to cross over. So he sets about living a lifetime in 7 days. So this guy died, and I guess he didn't know, but he's this like Grim Reaper, and he's like, oh shoot, I died. I'm not ready. And so he's giving him 7 days to kind of cope with it, and he's trying to put in all the life that he can in those 7 days. I heard it's really good. I want to read it. Death is only their beginning. This one is called The Shore by Katie Rund. I actually haven't heard about this either, but I saw it everywhere at Barnes & Noble, so I was like, I do want to get it. I don't know. Let's see. Heartbreaking yet ultimately uplifting debut novel about the particular pain of losing someone who becomes a stranger before he disappears. I remember now. So this family, I think like the son or the brother has an illness. What illness was it? Brain tumor. So he starts getting erratic emotions and outbursts. So they have to deal with that. It sounds really sad. Like the cover itself, like I thought it was a coming of age romance story. I don't know, but it sounds really serious and heartbreaking. Yeah, can't wait to read that. This one is Love from Scratch by Caitlin Hill. I honestly don't know much about this, but it is the perfect recipe for romance. A sweet and savory delight, deliciously funny and swoon-worthy. I think this was like a cover buy for me because look at that. Look at that cake. Oh my gosh. If you guys don't know, I'm like the biggest sweet tooth person ever. Like I can live on milk tea if my body allowed me to, but I'm trying to be healthy this year. I told my husband, like, let's work on ourselves for the first 3 months and then get our blood work. And I hope I do not have pre-diabetes. But yes, here are the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that I got randomly for like the after holiday sales. This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. She is the author of the Shatter Me series, which I also have not read, but I do have book 1 in that series and I want to get into it. It's like a hit or miss that I hear. People love it or people think it's like really overrated, but this is another of the series. Let's see. Stephanie Garber said, prepare to be destroyed. This one will wrench at your heart and make it pound, and in the end it will leave you entirely speechless. Oh, I'm excited for this. I do want to be destroyed. Oh, I also have A Very Large Expanse of the Sea. And yeah, I guess I have a lot of books by her. I just need to read it. So that's one. The other one is 8 Perfect Hours. I know people have been talking about this online as well. I do want to try this one. When perfect strangers, Noelle and Sam meet by chance during a blizzard and spend one perfect evening together. They think they'll never see each other again, but fate seems to have different plans. So cute. I guess I'll put that over here in my holiday haul. This one I only got for like, it was $1, $1 or $2. And so it's also by an Asian author. So I was like, all right, let me buy it. Red Thread of Fate, a masterful story of sorrow, secrets, and unexpected romance. Miss Butler writes with humor, compassion, and honesty. Simply wonderful, says best-selling author Kristen Higgins. Crazy. So I actually haven't heard about this, and I think this book is actually older. Actually, it's 2022. How come I've never heard of this? And how come it was on like massive sale? I don't know, but I'm excited to get into this one. This one is Ordinary Monsters. This is a chonkster of a book too, so who knows when I will finally get into it. But honestly, like the cover itself, I was not very intrigued about, but I heard a lot of people like this. Like the cover is meh to me, but people really liked it. It's a haunting, tense, and earth-shattering, riveting mix of magic and terror. What is it about? Who knows? England, 1882, Victorian London, 2 children with mysterious powers are hunted by a figure of darkness, a man made of smoke. All right, I can see why people like it. But anyways, For Treasures of the Sky. So this is like the only book that really made me buy these set of books because I wanted this and they had it on a sale. And then, you know, to get the free shipping, I had to buy this much. So it just got out of hand quickly, which, you know, happens a lot. But For Treasures of the Sky, Jenny Tingui Zhang. A propulsive and dazzling debut novel set against the backdrop of Chinese Exclusion Act about a Chinese girl fighting to claim her place in the 1880s American West. Yes, I love it. Dang. I need to read a lot of my books. So good. And the last one is The Girl from Widow Hills by Megan Miranda. I've seen this around a lot, even on Amazon too. I just never picked it up, but this one finally was basically screaming at me to buy it. They all scream at me to buy it. Let's see. Arden Maynor was a child when she was swept away while sleepwalking. Oh my gosh. I used to sleepwalk as a child and it's just terrifying to hear about. Like my brother would say, you know, you just woke up and started walking to the kitchen in the dark and opened the refrigerator and started talking. I was like, please don't tell me this. I do not want to know what I did while I was sleepwalking. Just don't. Because it sounds really scary. Okay. All right, she was swept away while sleepwalking during a terrifying rainstorm and went missing for days. Strangers and friends, neighbors, and rescue workers set up search parties and held vigils, praying for her safe return. Against all odds, she was found alive, clinging to a storm drain. Crazy. The Girl from Widow Hills was a living miracle. Arden's mother wrote a book. Fame followed. Fans and fan letters, creeps and stalkers. And every year, the anniversary, it all became too much. As soon as she was old enough, Arden changed her name and disappeared from the public eye. Now a young woman living hundreds of miles away, Arden goes by Olivia, and she's managed to stay off the radar for the last few years. But with the 20th anniversary of her rescue approaching, the media will inevitably renew its interest in Arden. Where is she now? Soon, Olivia feels like she is being watched and begins sleepwalking again like she did long ago, even outside of her home. Until late one night, she jolts awake in her yard. At her feet is the corpse of a man she knows from her previous life. Oh my god, this sounds crazy. So honestly, all of the books that I get, I read the synopsis and something in me is interested, right? And I just forget about it. And that's why I need to read a lot of my books before I buy any more, because I'm sure like I'll find a lot of favorites on here. I recently read Strange the Dreamer, which I have had since 2018, and I love it. It's one of my favorite books now, but it just took like 4 years to read. Anyways, is that my book haul, please? Is that it? Yes, that is all of my books, and finally I can organize them and put it onto my shelf. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is a different like background scene from my last few videos, but this is my downstairs library that I've been working on, and I have my little couch here. I have a little cabinet here that also has like a bunch of books that I need to organize. And there's a door over there that leads to the backyard. But yes, I'm filming down here today because all of my books were down here and I was like, I do not want to carry 60 books upstairs. But hopefully I'll be filming down here more because the light is really pretty. My dogs can be here. I don't know if you guys probably don't see my dog, but this is Neymar. Neymar, who when we adopted him, his name, like they gave him a name Casper, and so when we initially had him, we kept calling him Casper, but he wouldn't respond to it, so we're like, oh, his name is actually Neymar. So we called him that and he finally responded. But anyways, Neymar's an old fart and he's right here. He's just laying down. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my book haul, and this is like basically the reason why I put myself on a book buying ban, because I just have so many books that I want to read and I don't want to get distracted by like fancy new releases and stuff like that. And so something happens with me when I put myself on a book buying ban. I just go crazy and I buy so much more. So this book buying ban is a little bit more mild and less restricting. I am telling myself I can read 5 books of my own before I buy 1 book. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.